everybody, my name is Kyle with Unseen Miles. Today I'm going to do a quick tour of my van. It's a 2020 Mercedes Sprinter 144. It is a gasoline model and we named the van Sully, like Sullivan from Monsters Inc. We ordered our van brand new back in November of 2019, right before COVID hit, and they told us it would be 90 days to get here. The van ended up showing up 10 months later, and we spent the following 8 months building it out. And when it did finally show up, we kind of realized, what are we doing? We lived in the 15th story of a downtown Tampa, Florida apartment, and we had nowhere to park it, and I owned zero power tools. We found a really great carpenter, and we had a buddy that works on boats help us with the electrical. And every weekend we would go to my dad's house, and in his driveway we would build this thing with all of our friends and family helping us out. So the only thing we really added up here as far as the cab goes is our overhead shelf. It's a Vanlife shelf. It's a kit that you can buy online. One thing that we really wanted to do was collect something, but obviously living in 60 square feet, it's really hard to do so. We ended up selecting patches. So every national park we go to in any area that's really special to us, we buy a patch, and those are Velcroed to our headliner shelf so that after our trip we can take those down, either put them in a picture frame or a table. As far as our kitchen galley area, we ended up buying, for ease of build, we ended up buying kitchen cabinets from a kitchen cabinet supplier and basically putting two cabinets together. And then our countertop is a live edge from Home Depot. We have 21 gallons of fresh water in the van. We do not have hot water. We opted for no hot water just because we thought that it would pull a lot of electricity, and also we didn't really think that we needed it, and we're still happy with that decision. So we ended up going with the Rivadi Sink, and it does come with a cutting board cutout, which worked perfectly. This actually isn't part of our counter. This is what comes from Rivadi. It does have a nice insert, and then we have a black faucet here. You'll notice we don't have any cooktop here inside the van. We opted to mostly cook outside the van on a camping stove, but then we also use a Instapot, and both of those are pretty much what we use entirely for cooking. Our kitchen has 3 cabinets over here and then one main cabinet here. The top one being our utensils, and so we just have a utensil organizer in here. These are all slow close cabinets. This one's got all of our dishes, and then the bottom one will have pots and pans. So we decided to build cabinets down only one side of the van. That gave us storage all the way down this side. The cabinets were built, and then the faces were bought, and so you'll see they have gas struts here, and you'll notice we use these baskets, and we use them in all of our cabinets. They basically are just to keep everything organized, and they're easy to pull out so that you can get to everything. Under this couch is our toilet. We did go with a Nature's Head composting toilet. The reason why we did that, after a lot of research, it seems to be the best option. A lot of people use them, and as far as cleanliness and smell, they seem to be the best. It does have a pee jug, and then it has a separate composting area, which is vented out the bottom of the van. Overall, it's been great. The pee jug lasts us about 2 to 3 days, and we can dump those at a dump station. And the compost we only do empty about every 5 months. And when you empty that, it's basically just like dirt. We use the coconut core as the base material. Obviously this area here is our seating area. You have a bench seat here and a bench seat here. This is where we typically would eat dinner. Underneath this bench couch is our fridge. So we went with a Dometic chest style. It's a 75 liter. It's split, so you can do fridge on this side and freezer on this side, or both fridge or both freezer. And that's a 12-volt system. Typically we can keep food in there for about 5 days. As far as the ceiling goes, we used 1/4-inch plywood that we painted black, and that was mounted to the ceiling ribs. And then we used these strips that are also 1/4-inch. Those were painted white and then glued and nailed to the top. And that gives you that kind of a marine look. And then we also have the 12-volt lights that are on 2 different zones, where the front is on one zone and then these last 2 are on a different zone. That way if someone's sleeping, you can have the lights on and work up front and leave those ones off. So over here is kind of our control panel area. On the left here, we're gonna have our Max Air fan. And then on top here, we went with all Victron stuff. So Victron, this is the inverter switch. And then we have just a temperature gauge and humidity gauge here. And then our battery monitoring here. For the lights, instead of wiring all over for switches, we ended up using these wireless switches, and so you only have to wire them into the back, and they use infrared, and they're all dimmable. As far as the bed goes, we ended up buying a memory foam mattress off of Amazon. We use an electric turkey knife to cut it. So it's somewhere in between a king and a queen bed, and it's worked out really well. The only issue we've had with the memory foam is that when it gets cold out, it does get a little hard. I sleep on this side of the bed, and my girlfriend Alisha sleeps on this side of the bed. Because I am 6'3", and we didn't want to extend the bed way out into the cab area, we came up with a system where we use 400-pound drawer slides and a platform that pulls out in order to extend the bed. This side, obviously, she sleeps on, and the cabinets are overhung, but we left this side open here so that there was headroom, and she sleeps partly underneath the cabinets, which hasn't been an issue so far. To extend the bed, what you do is you grab these two slide locks, pull this platform out here, and then the extra piece of foam that we cut off the mattress is here in a pillowcase, and that slides against there. And then the blankets fold out like here. And then that's where I sleep. We opted for the raised bed, and the reason why we did that is for this garage space. The biggest part of going on this van trip was to do all these fun activities and bring all of our fun toys with us. So I'll go quickly through the garage here. This is our water side, and you have a water fill and a water hose spray here that we can use for a shower. Again, 20 gallons. We use these Husky containers. They are watertight and very easy to move in and out. They don't slide around while we're driving, and those have been really, really great. We love those. Over here we have our mountain bikes that we obviously ride, and we have a stand-up paddleboard as well. Our electrical system is tucked into the side over here. We have 200 amp hours of lithium, and then we have a Victron system from AM Solar. So before we hit the road full time, I actually was a sales rep for heavy construction equipment. We dealt with the emissions issues all the time based on these new diesel engines. I opted to order my van with a gasoline engine, and you don't see very many of them. They haven't been very popular for whatever reason, but I can't speak enough about how great this engine has been. It is a 4-liter turbo, and it gets 15 miles to the gallon average, and it has a 9-speed transmission. One detail I wanted to point out on our van is our Topographic Map Decal on the bottom. We partnered with Rigwell. He came out with a product called the Rig Wrap, and basically this is a clear wrap with black topographic. Not only does it look cool and add some cool detail, but it also protects the bottom from rock chips. We wanted to thank you for tuning in to our van tour. We hope to see you guys on the road, and be sure to follow us on Instagram at unseen_miles. Thanks again.
I hope you enjoyed that video. If you hadn't noticed, we do sell an ebook for how to convert a van. It has over 190 pages of detailed instructions and diagrams, also 25 video tutorials which are specifically for the ebook buyer. Creating a van for many people is obviously a really intimidating project, but I really believe, and I've seen it time and time and time again, that with the right information, anyone can turn out with a pretty decent van conversion. So check the link in the description, subscribe to the channel if you are not already, and drop us a comment if you like this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.